All right, we've been promoting it for days and days, and we've been super excited to finally get a chance to showcase some folks that are technically right in my backyard. Love to talk to a few Hoosiers today, and it's going to be an all-day event. So if you're just joining us for this first event with Kara and Carrie, we're having events all day long. So just join us, buckle up. Press the bell, right? Subscribe on all of the channels. Make sure you share and like these. Super important to kind of increase that social circle so that your administrators and your fellow teachers and your students, whoever you need, parents, to see these great things that are happening with Indiana educators all across the state and the things that they're going to do and show you that you can use all across the nation and all across the world. So we're super excited to welcome Keep Indiana Learning today on the live stream. But before we get started, we have a really cool, this is kind of breaking news for me, so I get really excited. We got a brand new put together commercial for Canvas Studio, and I'm super excited for it because we know that the initial rush of learning outside the classroom has really given way to a more measured and thoughtful approach to blended and online learning these days, as Kara knows, is an Indiana online educator. And if anything was made clear while students were learning at home, that's, for learning to be truly equitable, students need to also have, internet connection and a device that works. They also need that high quality, engaging content that they can access anytime. So I want you to just buckle up and for just a short 1.5 minutes, 1 minute and 55 seconds to be exact, to check out this really cool video about how Canvas Studio can allow you to keep those connections at home. Listen, before I ever worked for the company, loved Canvas Studio. I presented on Canvas Studio. I created a hype video about Canvas Studio 2 years ago. I love this platform so much, and it has a ton of new improvements that we're really excited to share with you today.
Learning wasn't meant to be a one-way street. For learning to stick, students need to do and make, not just watch and listen. They need interaction, collaboration, feedback. Canvas Studio transforms video learning by turning content into conversation. Here's how it works. Educators can create a variety of media experiences for their courses, from self-recorded video to interactive discussions around other content. Students can create videos too, as assignment submissions, presentations, peer feedback, or ways to practice. Everyone gets their own personal media library. Want to bring YouTube content into the mix? No problem. And accessibility is built right in. Focus students' attention with timestamped comments, then turn those comments into conversations. Embed quiz questions to gauge understanding of key concepts at key moments. Then send the scores straight to the gradebook. Want a deeper look at engagement? Studio offers second-by-second, student-by-student analytics. See what's sinking in and what's falling flat. Personalize, refine, repeat. And of course, Canvas Studio integrates seamlessly with the Canvas LMS. That means Studio can deliver videos exactly how students and teachers want to see them through Canvas mobile apps. It means your institution gets full control of its video assets and a simple storage and bandwidth solution. And your students get richer Canvas courses, no extra logins, and a more fluid learning experience, whether they're online, in person, or somewhere in between. Ready to make video learning more powerful? Learn more about Canvas Studio at Instructure.com.
And if you're interested about learning more about Canvas Studio, not only can you go to Instructure.com, but there's also a link in the show notes of all of these videos in the descriptions, little short link bit.ly that will take you to a page that has that video, and you can learn more about Canvas Studio. And those types of things are super important in today's world. And we have captive audiences, so we definitely want to show you some of the cool stuff that we have going on inside Canvas Studio. But we need to no longer waste any time to get to our Spring Forward event with Keep Indiana Learning. They are powered by the Central Indiana Educational Service Center. We've got Kara and Carrie here from those platforms. Kara, obviously, from Indiana Online to talk about how Canvas can be your staff meeting in this session. And Carrie from the Central Indiana Educational Service Center. Super excited to have you guys join us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eddie. All right, Kara, go ahead and get started. Take it away.
Well, thank you. Thank you both. Oh, that was really exciting. So let me get my presentation going here. So as Eddie said, we are part of the Central Indiana Educational Service Center, representing Keep Indiana Learning. My name is Kara Heichelbeck, and I'm the Assistant Director of Indiana Online. Right now, we are gearing up to work with about 25,000 students for summer school. We have about 6,000 students that we work through year-round, and we just switched to Canvas. So, learning attentions, I only have a brief 20 minutes, but I do want to get through today how you can establish Canvas as your resource hub, how you can use Canvas to model expectations for staff, and then just rethinking those staff meetings. We've all been there. So what has been our journey to Canvas? Well, we switched over to Canvas in the summer of 2020, so just last year. Our amazing instructional design team transferred all of our courses in 7 months. And when I tell you that is a feat, I mean that is a feat. They did so well. We were so excited for all of the hard work that our entire team has put in, but really what they did in order to transfer all of our courses and content. So in January, we started with 10 pilot courses. We had 10 teachers that were eager to try out the platform, and that really allowed us to work out some kinks. We had 44 courses total going live in March because we offer new sessions every month. And we're planning all of our courses for this summer. It's over 400 courses. So we are right now in the mid-thick of our plan. And so some of what we are planning happens to come from the fact that I was at a former school district that utilized Canvas and just bringing some of that knowledge over. And some are things that we are planning. Maybe we can check in a year from now and I can tell you how it all went. All right, so we utilize Canvas as our resource hub. I'm actually going to get out of my presentation here and show you our resource hub. So we developed a course for all of our teachers to be essentially a one-stop. So you know, every staff meeting that you attend, you always have those housekeeping items or questions that you need to review. Well, we have created this resource hub to house all of that information. A couple of things to note about this when we're talking through modeling expectations for our staff. Our resource course is modeled exactly after our student courses. We put our teachers in the resource course as students so they get that student experience, which just helps them troubleshoot and work with students when they are using the platform in their course. So we modeled it to look just like our courses. In fact, we have the exact same quick links along the bottom that go to our announcements, that go straight to modules, to grades, to our tech support, which is outside of Canvas. We use another platform to work with all of our tech support for all of Indiana Online. And then we have a quick link right to our student information system. Now, one thing I wanted to also show is our makeup. One thing that we are modeling is our module makeup. Every module and every course has and starts with this Welcome Start Here module. So again, we're modeling those expectations for our staff. We did the same thing using that same vocabulary. You can see we have different modules of information related by topic. So information that is relatable only to our summer-only teachers, anything that has to do with HR, our evaluation metric. You could also put bell schedules, even in elementary where it's your schedule for the day by grade level, your lunch schedule. All of that information should be living in one spot for your teachers to have easy access to it. So anything and everything that our teachers need at the tip of their hands, we have put into this course. Another thing that we've been very intentional about doing is our announcements. So our teachers use announcements to communicate with our students, and we all know communication is so important. So one thing that we did is we are modeling the setup that we're asking our teachers to do in our course as well. We want that personal interaction with our students. We want our teachers to have that. So we are doing that with our teachers with a little welcome video. We also are really looking at accessibility using our header structure with our paragraph. We've linked to modules to give those quick links and quick access. And then, we always know there's going to be questions. As much as we can plan for the information that we're putting into the course, we know that we're going to miss the mark on things. So we've given a direct link right here to the Canvas inbox for them to ask us questions. And of course, we always welcome emails. One thing that we really are very aware of is asking for feedback from our teachers. This course is about them. We really want to make sure that it's beneficial. So we're telling them, hey, if we're missing something or you want to see more information, make sure that you let us know. So trying to set up that culture. Of course, once we get using this resource course, we'll use that new analytics so that we can see how effective it is for our teachers, and we can look to see what information they're accessing on a regular basis and maybe what information they're not accessing, but we as the administration think they should be, so that way we can look to redesign how we give out that information to our staff. So again, just to kind of review what that modeling for those expectations, we did the same course design that we did for all of our courses. Our homepage is set up the same way. We started every course with the students and every teacher course with that welcome start here module. We're using that same vocabulary. One thing I didn't point out was that muddiest discussion forum. Every course has that inserted into it so that students and teachers alike have a place to go. You might have heard it called of a parking lot where they can ask general questions or maybe even share a resource. The course navigation in our teacher course is set up in the exact same way that it is for our students. Again, we're modeling those expectations. I really think the vocabulary and the naming conventions are super powerful. We talk a lot about making sure people can find the information they need. And you'll note here from the example that I'm showing, some of our titles might be a little bit more lengthy, but that's so that we can ensure that our staff or students that are reading it know what it's for. Again, I talked through those announcement expectations. That is something that's very important for our staff, so we wanted to make sure that we were modeling it as well. We also developed a professional learning course. And in this course, our students, or our teachers are our students, and they have access to different modules for learning, for professional learning. Again, all of the information that our teachers would need to be successful at Indiana Online, we've put into one of these two courses so that they have access at any time. Our professional learning opportunities course is available for all staff. There are some required modules of training, and then there are optional learning opportunities that they can go to and explore at their leisure, but then also still earn those PGP points. We did put discussions into both of these courses, again, because we want to create a community of learners for our teachers. We want them sharing from one another. We as administration do not have all of the answers. If I am asked, again, how can we get students to attend our video conferencing sessions? If I had that $1 million question, I would be a millionaire. But what we can do is at least give our teachers a place to bounce and share successes that they've had, or even resources. Maybe it's a goal document or an intervention plan. And so we've provided spaces for them to be able to connect with one another and share that information. We also have put through our evaluation. So we have a quick link to our evaluation system. We use Standards for Success in our teacher resources course. And what's really cool about Standards for Success is that we can link directly to the professional learning opportunity that we might ask a teacher to explore right in Canvas. So we've been able to link the two systems so that we are able to provide our teachers with a way to learn and grow Maybe it's in an area that they identified through their own goal, or maybe it's an area that we have identified. So if we really think about our staff meetings and all of the information that we share out, even in this professional learning course, we have the opportunity to have our teachers do some pre-learning. That way, when we do have a staff meeting, we are really intentional about learning and growing, maybe new material or new strategies. We are utilizing, again, our announcements to share information. You can see on this example here, we had an update with Microsoft Teams. So instead of having to clog their email, I was able to just quickly share that update in the Canvas course. And that way it's right there when they are thinking about Microsoft Teams, they can go right to that announcement and see it. So it's connecting when they're thinking about the topic. Future staff meetings. So what could a future staff meeting look like? We are implementing global announcements, one of my favorite features with Canvas, where we can push out information not only to our teachers, but even to our students. We're developing a template that we're going to use, and this will be a place where we can talk about future Canvas updates, quick tips. Maybe a teacher shared a really awesome success story and we want to highlight that. So our global announcements, almost you could treat them like a newsletter, but they're living in Canvas so that that information is housed, again, in one place for teachers to go to. We are utilizing quizzes to collect information. So we have to create a teacher page for each of our courses. We used a Canvas quiz in order to collect all of that information for our instructional design team to build out those pages. And what better way to have that than to have it housed in Canvas where everyone has access to it, that needs access to it very quickly and easily. But there are also other ways to gather staff input. Maybe you ask at a staff meeting for a raise of a hand, or another way where you're gathering their input. Why not use a technology tool and hear from every staff member, not just those that are willing to share out loud to the room? So you could embed an LTI or another piece of software. And I gave some examples here: Flipgrid, Padlet, Pear Deck, Nearpod. All of them are great integrations with Canvas where you can collect teacher input and feedback on the learning that you're presenting, or maybe you just need to ask a quick poll question with a Mentimeter. It's not one I have listed, but another option where you want to know if they want a Jeans Day on X Friday or Y Friday. Really great place to be able to push out that information so that, again, the teachers are going to one place and that you're modeling their expectations and their use. So again, just real quickly, because I only have about 3 more minutes, what are some benefits to utilizing Canvas as opposed to having a staff meeting? And by no means am I saying get rid of your staff meetings, but maybe repurpose them. So a benefit of using Canvas, everyone, so that's administration, depending on who you enroll in your course, it could be your instructional assistants, it could be your secretaries. Everyone goes to one place for the information. I don't have to ask somebody, hey, do you have that email? Can you forward? Or where in Google Drive is this living? Or maybe you're utilizing a website or another platform. If Canvas is your LMS, utilize it as the one place to go for your information hub. It's a really great way to model expectations. We, as administrators, have expectations for our teachers. Our teachers have expectations for our students. What a great way to model how our teachers should be utilizing our LMS in the classroom. It also allows everyone exposure to the LMS and for them to use it. I talk with a lot of administrators through CISC who their teachers are using Canvas, but they might not be as familiar with the platform. I challenge you, start utilizing it as the platform, because if you're using it, your teachers are going to start using it too. One really great benefit is we all know you send out information that maybe is only pertinent for a small amount of time. Here in Indiana right now, we just started state testing. So if you have those state testing schedules and you know every year, maybe you make some slight changes, but it's roughly a similar schedule, You can publish that information why it's relevant. And then as the administrator in the course, you just unpublish that and hide it until the next year when you're ready to republish it and tweak it. This is a really good place where you can link Google Documents so that if you make changes, they automatically flow through. It really allows important information to live so that you can start to really rethink those staff meetings. Wouldn't they be really beneficial if it was about learning and growth, or how to support our students, or how to support one another? There are a lot of ways to use that very valuable time that we all know is so easily used for things that could be sent in an email or that could live in a Canvas course. I am happy to connect. I am happy to share screenshots of what we have designed and set up. I wanted to give my information. I know Heichelbeck is a little bit of a mouthful, but it's kheichelbeck@indianaonline.org, or definitely feel free to reach out and give me a call. You can also connect with Indiana Online on Twitter, or myself, and it's Kara @Kara for my Twitter account. So with that, Eddie, how'd I do on time?
Perfect. You know, these Indiana educators, right there, they got the clock rolling. So we really appreciate you obviously being a part of the live stream and kind of kicking things off today. Super cool. You guys are doing great things there at Indiana Online. We get this question a lot, and I don't necessarily know if we need to spend a lot of time on it, but I do think I might know the gist of the question. But from Tracy here on our YouTube channel said she was curious what LMSs, if any, you were using prior to Canvas. We're not going to get into, I don't think we need to get into like who or what or where, but I think as an educator or an administrator, there might be some changes happening at certain districts. And there's always questions about like, how did that transition go? Was it smooth? Do I need to worry? Should I go ahead and put in early retirement before we move to new LMS? Those types of things. So I know you've been involved in probably a few in your career.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that before you go.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So we did use a different LMS, and we made the switch. We ultimately went with Canvas because it's growing in popularity, but it's ease of use. It is so easy for students and for teachers. So we actually trained close to 300 teachers going through this process. We did asynchronous training. We also offered, synchronous if they needed that support. And it was amazing. I actually pulled from the Canvas community, which I think is one of the richest things that you guys offer, regarding the videos that I then was able to put those into our training. And teachers really seemed to really like that. I got a lot of feedback that it was better than maybe their district-wide implementation, just because we gave them probably too many resources, but it was easy for them to transition over. Not saying that it was perfect with our instructional design team. We certainly had some hiccups as we were transferring all of our content, but Canvas, their support was really great at working with them. And then, we just have a really fantastic team that's going to figure it out and make it work.
Yeah. I couldn't have asked, Gary. We've got great presenters today, but that was a perfect segue into the next session, which will be a lot about a lot of the resources that Canvas provides, being a part of the Canvas fam, with maybe a fan favorite, Marcus Painter, coming up in the next session. So stick with us. In about 10 minutes, we'll have another session with Keep Indiana Learning, which is being provided today by the Central Education. I already messed that up, Carrie. Let's go ahead and give that correctly for everybody listening.
So the thing with all the letters, like people like
Central Education,
like, you work with the letters?
Indiana, no one knows.
No, Central Indiana Education Service Center.
There we go. That is happening. That is happening in another 10 minutes. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Carrie.
Oh, thank you for having me.
For joining us. Stick with us. 10 more minutes. We'll be right back on the Canvas live stream.
Thank you.